Please take your seats. Post-verdict motions. Let's start with the state. Or the defense, rather, Mr. Hart.
Move for entry of judgment on the verdict, please.
For the state, Mr. Tiffin.
That's the appropriate, this was a jury call, they've made their decision.
Right. The jury has made a decision here. The court does enter judgment on the verdict for the defense. And Mr. Mattioli, you are discharged. Ladies and gentlemen, at this point, this case is concluded. I'm going to ask everyone to leave the courtroom peacefully. I'm going to ask Mr. Acevedo's family and supporters to leave first. It would be best if we maintain separation between the parties until everyone has a chance to exit the building. All right, folks, court is adjourned.
We will stay on this shot right now as you see Michael Mattioli overcome with emotion, at this point hugging Michael Hart, his lead defense attorney, as well as the other attorney who worked with him on the case. This is a moment that has been a long time coming for both sides. The actual incident occurred in April of 2020. After various delays, the trial finally began earlier this week with jury selection. The judge had run a tight ship, saying he wanted everything done within a week. Closing arguments were indeed today, and as I was starting to mention, jurors started their deliberations at about 10:17 this morning, and initially came back saying they were deadlocked, they could not reach a verdict, but the judge said you need to go back in and keep trying. And then that is what they decided to do. And within a half an hour, they came back and said, we do now have a verdict. You're looking at the split screen. So you see Michael Mattioli there continuing to be overcome with emotion. On the other side, people are leaving the courtroom, headed out. I am venturing to guess they are members of Joel Acevedo's family. Acevedo was 25 years old, an acquaintance of Mattioli, and was invited to his home on that April night for a night of hanging out and drinking. And what was happening is that they spent the night, Mattioli and two other friends, and Mattioli testified that he awoke to find Acevedo going through Mattioli's pants pockets, and Mattioli said, why are you trying to steal from me? That was his contention. He was trying to steal. So there was this argument. I'm going to try to be quiet because I can hear that some of the family members reacting their disappointment to the verdict of not guilty.
But this system. That's my peace. There's still victory.
Very emotional time for Acevedo's family as well. We had been covering this case since it started, and they were frustrated by the delays along the way. And now this is not the verdict that they were hoping for. Michael Mattioli found not guilty of first-degree reckless homicide. Had he been found guilty, he could have been sentenced to prison for up to 60 years. He is 36 years old, had some 13 years on the force, but he resigned in September of 2020 after pleading not guilty to the charge. Acevedo's family had been speaking with us throughout, not clear at this point if they would care to share their reaction to this verdict this afternoon.
One thing that we gotta maintain and understand, there is another judge, and he's the righteous judge in this guy. He said he's gonna judge the quick and the dead at his appearance, right? So you can have a not guilty verdict in man's law, but there's a higher power, and that's God, right? So, but what we gotta do is, the Acevedo family thank everybody for their support and love throughout this situation. They're gonna keep on believing God. And we ask everybody to move just peacefully, quietly, and just exit the building, man. Just keep on loving on each other and keep Joel's memory and legacy alive through the love that y'all have for one another.
The family will give a statement in just a couple of minutes.
Okay, here?
No, not here. we can do it. Let's,
Outside?
yeah, let's do
So it
outside.
looks as if
Where?
the family will be making some comments in a few minutes. We're working out those logistics there. So Mattioli had testified that he held Acevedo down for about 10 minutes before Acevedo was taken to a hospital. And Mattioli himself was the one who called police to say, there's a man at my house. I need you to come and get him out of here. He's trying to steal from me. Mattioli contended he, as a police officer, knew the strength to provide a hold, and he knew that he said he did not provide that kind of strength. He was contending that it was not a chokehold. A chokehold is what was described by a responding officer on when the officer went there, and there was body camera video and whatnot. But so when they removed Acevedo from that home, he was taken to a hospital and he died some 6 days later. Mattioli says he intended to restrain Acevedo until police arrived, and he denied ever choking him. Again, Michael Mattioli, former Milwaukee police officer, found not guilty this afternoon in the chokehold death of Joel Acevedo. You can see the judge has cleared out, the attorneys have cleared out. The judge had asked the jurors to retreat back to the deliberation room, no doubt. He's giving them some remarks. And now we are waiting for Joel Acevedo's family to perhaps share some comments regarding the verdict this afternoon. We were saying they were sharing their frustrations for the last 3 years because of the various delays that took place in the trial, sometimes because of the availability of expert witnesses. Another point of contention throughout all of this is